is my favorite time of year.
It is. It doesn't get better than this.
No. Everybody's been working hard over the winter trying to get some of these fantastic trucks built.
Right.
Including that one.
Yep.
And that one.
Yeah.
And that one.
Yeah.
And then a bunch more over there.
Yeah, and
it's just so exciting now.
Come to the shop.
You better just come over, yeah. Let's just stop. Let's stop filming the rig review.
Yeah, come on
and
over.
then yeah, you can come and have a look.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Or come to an event.
Yeah.
What's the next event we're doing?
The next one is Berkeley.
GCM Adventure Series at Berkeley Scale Adventure Park.
Yep. Be there.
Wow.
Dana Lloyd does such a good job.
It's it's a private land. He's grooming the trails all year to make sure they're totally amazing. Yeah. And the level of trucking over there is, I can't describe it.
We've been to a lot of events. We've seen a lot of them. They're all epic. I think this is sort of one notch above all of them. Just because it's private land and you can spend such an amount of time prepping it. It's something to see. So if you're within 5 hours, come see it.
Now, with that said, the tickets are all sold out. So sorry, but anyway, I want to make a mention. I'm glad you brought up Adventure Series.
Yeah. Okay.
Because with this whole new Class 0 thing coming in, we've done comp for years, right? Have we ever done Class 3? I don't think I ever put anything in Class 3.
No.
I did build a Matzilla build. I thought I was going to run that, but you know what? I'm not even a competitive driver.
No.
So it doesn't matter how much Matzilla I put on the truck. I still suck. Mm-hmm. So I'm just going to stop thinking I can run Class 3 because I can't do it. But we've run lots of Class 2.
Absolutely. Yep.
And we've run a whole bunch of Class 1.
Yes.
And one of the things that we have always wondered about over here for all these years in comp is, what do you do when you build a truck that's like this, that's kind of stock looking mall crawler-ish, no winch, maybe a little more delicate, or at least the driver wants to drive more delicate. Then where do you go with your truck? Mm-hmm. What do you do? Mm-hmm. And honestly, this is my favorite kind of build. So I think that's why we created the Adventure Series. Right? And Adventure Series is a place where you bring whatever you build.
Yep.
As long as the tires are under 475, you're in. Mm-hmm. And after that, the truck gets teched based on, small tire bonus, tire tuck, the fenders, stuff like that, and whether the thing's got TKs. Just basic tech. But my favorite part is we can actually do a rig review today with 2 trucks that don't really fit into a class, but they're perfect for Adventure Series, and that's why this is such a great day.
You sort of coined the phrase, the Adventure Series is more of a truck event than it is a driver event.
That's so true.
Yeah, and so, depending on where, or if you don't know where your truck fits in what class, come to an Adventure Series, because we want to see your truck and we'll put it in an environment where it works well.
Yep, and that's what these two are all about.
Yep.
So I built these trucks here at the shop for a couple of reasons. I wanted to make sure that our CMAX kit, this is the CMAX starter kit, by the way. I wanted to make sure that the CMAX kit was going to work on this ever-popular Raffi hardbody and this ever-popular Raffi hardbody. Mm-hmm. And because I like doing scale trucking adventures, I thought it was really valuable to build both of these and then be able to wheel them, which is what Adventure Series will let me do. And of course I got no winch. There's stuff like that doesn't really put them into a real competitive class. But these trucks are an amazing amount of fun, and they both fit fantastic on this chassis, and I couldn't be happier.
The first thing I notice is that this is much longer and this is much shorter. How were you able to use the same chassis and be able to do that?
It's really cool that you brought that up, because I think that's my favorite thing about building trucks on this CMAX now. I think, 14 or 16 or something trucks we did on these now?
Yeah.
Very different trucks on the same chassis. And why don't you turn that over and have a look? So, just lay that thing right on its side, it'll be right. It's already scratched. So.
Yeah, I saw there were some scratches.
Yeah. So how do we do this on the same chassis?
Well, isn't that amazing though? Let's just take a minute. Let's take a minute. That is amazing. Like, look at those transmissions there. Like, it's just
cool,
like it doesn't get any better than that. Sorry.
They're all tidy. There's no wires or anything sticking out, and you know they're covered. And anyway, I will say I have to take a little bit of a moment of pride here because it was a huge amount of engineering and development and testing and products and layout and stuff before we could get it to this. But now that this is available for everybody, we're really proud of it.
Yeah, you should be, and it's beautiful. And I've always said you're never stagnant. And we were always moving, we're always grooving. And here's a prime example of things that we're developing and creating.
So I think it's important to do a rig review on these both at the same time because they have so many similarities. I mean, the bodies come from the same company. We use TM8 axles with the proper drop for the Defender setup. That's the same, it's exact same front end layout over there as it is over here. It's the exact same rear layout here as it is over here. The difference is the link kit, of course, has changed for the wheelbase. The actual Shapeways battery mounting kit is different for each. The side trays that we've got here for the floor pans, they're different for each body. But other than that, the chassis is exactly the same. The suspension geometry is almost exactly the same to a minute detail. And the bodies are so frigging awesome. Like, I can't stress that enough. Now,
you've wheeled these?
That one has had some enormous amount of wheel time. I haven't run the 90 yet, as you can tell. I'm going to say the 90 hasn't quite cured yet.
For those who know what that means, he doesn't want to scratch it.
If you saw the last video on Dana's Jeep, it's scratch free yet because we decided it hasn't cured yet. So we're going to let the D90 cure a little bit before it gets well used.
However, there are some scratches there.
Yeah, so the 110 has been wheeled. I wheeled the 110 for, I think, maybe 4 hours already at USTE in Florida, which was Ultimate Scale Truck Expo, coming probably in spring of 2018. Have a look for that. Because the trails down there are just bonkers amazing.
Yeah.
And this, of course, is the ultimate trail truck, you know, for years to come.
Sure.
The fact that the body sets have so much awesome scaleness on them really makes you want to build it, you know. My problem is that I suck at painting and I don't have a lot of time to do the detail work. So this body, of course, was painted by VS Customs. Tim Bloor did the paint job on it, which is amazing.
Yeah, great attention to detail. And that weathering, he does it. He does such a good job at weathering, for sure.
So what I told Tim when we started talking about this body paint thing, he's like, "Well, what kind of theme do you want?" Whatever. I said, "I want a dirty old trail truck."
You got one.
I want a dirty old trail truck that's gigantic. It's dirty. And he said, "Well, you know, I'll do the outside, you do the inside." So basically, that's what we did. And I dirtied out the seats. I mean, the thing is just it's a dirty old truck. And it seemed to me that the only tire that would actually fit the look and give me some good ride height was this beautiful Pitbull AT. I can tell you that after having wheeled these for how many hours on multiple different types of terrain, it could be the best trail tire ever.
Really?
That's incredible.
Yeah.
Even if they're wet, they don't stop grabbing. I thought that the small tread block on these little ATs was going to clog up with dirt and mud and stuff. Not a chance.
Wow.
So I don't understand anything about tire tech, okay? Like, seriously, how do you make a tire with a tread block that has maybe a 1/16 spacing between the tread blocks and little tiny micro sipes on the tread? Like, how do you make that not clog? I don't understand.
Yeah, and again, I've heard nothing but good things. And what foams do you have in these?
So that's the stock Pitbull foam, although you might notice how incredibly narrow they are. What I actually did was shave off about 1/8 of an inch of the foam. So the foam was the same width as the tire. Instead of bulging the sidewalls, I just trimmed the foam slightly. That was it.
I learned talking to Desmond at the Ultimate Scale Truck Expo that they put a lot of time and effort into the foams that are going in their Pitbull tires now.
Yeah.
And so these are stock foams. However, their performance is second to none. So I know that the combination
really nice.
of this tread pattern, this tire, and the foams is really coming out quite well.
So both of these trucks share a lot of same characteristics. I designed up a really tiny little front bumper for it and the back which apparently is actually a cross member for the frame. I call it a bumper, but okay.
Right.
Very slender. Of course, there's no overhang in the back. There's very little issue in the front. No room for a winch, mind you. But the little tiny hook that I put on the front bumper screws right into the frame rail. So that makes it a really solid anchor point if in case you need a tow or whatever. You know, Tim did the amazing body work, and of course it's all these, you know, beautiful opening doors, hood, trunk, storage, whatever. One of my favorite things about this is actually the battery tray, which is designed right into the floor, the rear trunk floor. You never take the body off this. There's no reason. Mm-hmm. I've gotten really tired over the years of taking the body off to change batteries, so the wire's right there, and that just clips just by itself. It's all just part of the way it's made.
A lot of thought into getting the body to attach to the frame, to the chassis, with all of the accessories that go along with that. It really sort of sets the stance of the vehicle, and then it performs well once you're out there. Of course, TM8s, I know you mentioned them, but yeah. TM8s are on this. How are you liking that combination? You
know, I've been really happy with the TM8 setup. The TM8s use Ascender steering geometry. So the TM8 hardware kits that we sell at the store and the USA store here in Canada, they both of the kits use that Ascender knuckle. Right. So if you want to upgrade to aluminum, buy an Ascender knuckle, stick it on, you're done. Very easy. We like the plastic knuckles because I don't know why we never break them.
Mm-hmm. Well, we're driving realistic, right? We're driving in a scale fashion.
But I mean, even with the Ascenders, which have had some pretty serious tumbles, and the kids have pounded them and stuff, I've never broken an Ascender knuckle or anything. So
yeah,
I thought it was a safe go.
Yeah. And
of course, we have our own CVD sets now for the TM8, for the Bauhaus axle, which is the same size as the 170 Bauhaus axle, and then we make an axle set for the smaller Bauhaus 152, which you have.
Yeah.
So it's really nice for us to actually have axle parts in-house now at GCM, and being able to beat the crap out of them, and they seem to be fine. They work great. They're reliable. They're small. The housings are small, so they don't seem to hang up on a lot of stuff, which is really handy. And
now we've talked about this a lot, but let's just sort of direct our eyes over to this. There's some fine details going on in here that should be talked about. Starting with these incredible half doors here.
Anybody heard of James Knight?
No, never. Always. Incredible guy, very artistic. The stuff that he does, his 3D printing is second to none.
Listen, if you want accessories. You don't mind 3D printing, which is now really high quality.
Yeah, and durable.
Go to James Knight Shapeways store, search up your vehicle. He's probably got stuff on the market that will fit your vehicle already. One of the things that he did is made up these really friggin' kick-ass tube doors with a net on them. That's just made specifically for this Defender body. I wanted to get rid of the doors on this. In this particular build, I found that using like the traditional Defender big metal bumpers, the traditional bigger tires, some kind of tire rack on the back, the full doors with the windows, and then this short cab, to me the look of it was just really awkward. I don't know why. I just couldn't get around it. I tried every kind of combination to try to make it look kind of smaller, and I just couldn't get it to shrink up. So that's why we came up with these bumpers. And then I was so happy to find out that James Knight made these tube doors, because that answered my issue right there.
Yeah, it did. It's awfully shiny, as we know. When is this going to see some trail time? What's your thoughts on this?
I think it could be wheeled anytime. Actually, it's all motorized and servoed and everything. It's all there. So it really could be used. But when, I don't know. I'm going to wheel the crap out of the 110 all summer, and we'll see how it goes.
Okay. Right, it's not cured yet. Wheel and tire combination. What's unique wheel on that?
There is a couple of unique things happening here. So this wheel is a
Slick Rock, Viterra Slick Rock.
The tire is a Viterra Slick Rock
tire,
TSL. Yeah,
right.
They say it's a 1.9. It's kind of a 1.75. Honestly, the rim size is really weird on it, and we actually had to invent a new inner beadlock ring to fit the gigantic bead that comes on the Viterra tire. So this is a little bit of a unique combination. The rim itself, I think, is called a double time or something. It's from SSD.
Okay.
It's a 1.9 wheel, and I really loved the fact double time. Yeah. I really love that it came with the little beadlock dots on it, and it really just was the mall crawler kind of look I was trying to find. And the tire is really small, 375 diameter, I think. So it fit the look really well. It's got coils and separate shocks all the way around. So suspension is good. I'm really happy with how it feels and how it looks and how it flexes, and it should be a lot of fun on the trail.
Now, before we go away from well, there's foams in here.
There is foam in there. Yeah.
And then what else did you do in there? Did you do anything else?
So we 3D printed the inner beadlock ring.
Okay.
And the habit that we've been doing now on several different trucks is we're actually 3D printing the inner beadlock ring too big.
Oh, okay.
So what happens is you end up with a foam layer right at the tread.
Ah, nice, nice.
But then inside you have a stiff piece of plastic inside. So you get a lot less tire rollover from it's not so separated from the rim then. You end up with this really rigid, the steering is incredible, but the tire still has a whole bunch of flex to get around the rocks and conform to the terrain and stuff. So they seem to be, so far, we've been running most of the trucks that way this year, and they seem to be running really, really well.
The paint job on this is epic. Who painted this?
Well, I did, and I can only handle one thing at a time, so it was black.
I must admit that the paint job on this is quite nice. One of your better paint jobs, I would admit.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
What was so bizarre about this is the roof was kind of looks like it's textured. It looks like it's fiberglass, kind of a roof on it. That was a complete accident. Literally, the roof looking like this was a complete paint screw up, honestly. I can't take any credit for that, except it just kind of happened by accident. I had painted everything black, and I had done a couple coats in the paint booth, and I was really happy with the finish. But on the roof, I could still see some of my prep sanding marks, so I thought, well, why don't I just put another layer of paint on it? Well, I did that, and even though it was literally the same can, it was only like a couple of days later, but just at that alone, the paint just started like blistering like it was having a virus attack. It was just the weirdest thing I've ever seen.
It's almost like it's wrinkled a bit,
it's like wrinkle paint now.
Yeah, but at a very fine detail, right? Like it looks like it's got some sort of fiberglass top to it. It actually looks cool. Legit. It looks legit.
It turned out so cool that I had to just leave it alone. But you know what? I'm really glad I didn't end up like doing the hood first or something, because you can imagine the repaint after that. It'd be horrible.
Now, some of you may have noticed that there's our logo this year has changed a little bit. Why has it changed this year again?
So 2017 is 10 years anniversary for GCM.
Can you believe it?
Not really. I seem to have. I think I was asleep for most of it.
I don't
think like, how did I miss the last 10 years? It just seemed to fly by.
No, he's been R&Ding like a madman, and coming up with incredible products for us to enjoy. So he's been behind in the trenches for a long time. That's maybe why he's lost track of time.
It's true. Yeah. This is why I think this sort of season now is so exciting, because we've got all these new trucks on this brand new, chassis, the CMAX chassis. It's been a really long time in development. Do you remember going to Florida for RRW had a crawl fest?
That's right.
A couple of years ago, and we went down to Florida with the first two CMAX prototype trucks, which was Orange Crush.
Yep.
And my blue 49 Chevy.
Yep. Which are still around.
Which are still around, and they still get wheeled the odd time. Although I think for some reason they're curing again.
Right.
But we learned so much from that, and it just it's all come to fruit now. We can finally build trucks on the factory, CMAX trucks. The development part is done, so that's so exciting.
And like how many years ago was that? It was like 2 years ago now.
2 and a little bit.
So, think about the time and effort and wheeling that we've done on this chassis, and then we launched it when?
December of 2016.
So, there was about a year of prototyping, development, making sure that when it gets on the trail that it's going to work right. So this, you can get the whole ultimate package if you want.
Sure, there it is.
Yeah, there it is.
Oh yeah, coil, the all coil kit, the full scale drivetrain is included in the ultimate kits. I mean, there's a lot going on in those boxes.
Or you can start with the starter kit, which is just nice set of rails, cross members, and then develop what you want.
Build as you go.
So they're really versatile, really nice piece.
Yeah.
Yep.
Let me say another shout out to Tim at BS Customs because he did the paint on this, which was amazing.
Yep.
And thanks again, Tim. I've been really proud to wheel that, and sorry for the scratches. But I also have a VS Customs CB, which I picked up from him, and it's a nice matte black finish, which really fits my theme. He puts a really cute little curly wire on it, so I think it's really good.
Yeah, really nice.
Little details that I don't really have time to figure out.
You betcha. Well, another couple of rig reviews done, which is awesome.
I think we better show off the motor in that.
Why don't we do that before we go? Oh, here we go.
Now, I'll admit that this is kind of in the prototype stage. It's true. There's we've got the proper Defender straight six, or is it a? It's a 300 turbo diesel.
Looks that way.
That's the Defender motor. There is some question still online about whether or not it was the right year of motor for that genre of truck, but at the end of the day, we wanted to design an appropriate Defender motor, and I think that's what we achieved, so I'm really happy with that. Hopefully in the next short time we'll have a slightly shrunk, slightly more detailed version of the motor that we can put on the Shapeways store for sale. So that helps out the engine-based stuff for everybody, and I'm really proud of that. And of course, big shout out to Ryan, who's our tube and motor designer. I'm perfectly willing to admit that I'm not that great of a detail designer.
Okay.
Ryan is bonkers good, so really proud that we could team up with Ryan and get that done. And thanks so much for all your hard work on that. He's local to us here.
Yep.
And a full-size four-wheel guy.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, he's just super talented with the detail and the fab work and stuff, and he's got a real passion for that kind of detail. So we're really proud to have a culmination of how many different things on this truck, and this one.
Well, and that's what I've said before, is that, oftentimes it takes many people to make these type of trucks with all the details that are available out there to create awesome tiny trucks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So big shout out to everybody who was involved in these.
Yeah.
Tim, James Knight, Ryan, Pitbull's amazing tires, even Batera's amazing little slick rock tire. That's Steven's fault, actually. He hooked me onto those. They're amazing. And Corey Verne hooked me onto those in Florida. Rafi Bodies, CMAX chassis, Shapeways store for GCM, doing all the underbody mounts. And what am I missing?
I think we got it all.
Incredible.
Yeah.
I'd love to see a rig like that come together and get some hard wheeling time. I might bring it to Calgary.
Maybe. I think you should.
We'll see.
It's got a few scratches. Why not?
Why not?
Yeah, you bet.
Cool.
Cool.
Thanks for watching, guys.
Tiny truck salute.
If you have any questions about these builds, make sure you write them in the comments below. We do actually read the comments.
We do.
And we'll try to get a reply to you, or you can always email the store at service@gcmracing.ca.
Come to Adventure Series. We love to see you guys. We love to see your builds. If you thought these were good, if you go to Adventure Series, you'll see some epic builds. So, want to see you all out there. Love meeting you guys. It's always a humbling experience when these people come out with the trucks that they have.
Thanks for watching.
Take care.
Bye-bye.